Welcome, everybody. I am Bryan.
And I'm Bryan.
And this is Bryan versus Bryan, episode 78. Taking a look at the Lawnmower Man. All right. Retro. I didn't pick this, so just so you know, don't blame it on me. But this is one a lot of people might know from the 90s. And we kind of knew it. You know, we've seen the cover. Who hasn't seen this damn cover or something at some point on a VHS or some other thing? And I kind of thought I had a memory of what this was, but no, not really. Because so pretty much I had never seen this and know nothing about this. I thought I did going in, but what about you? I didn't. This was like a new movie to me, pretty much.
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, yeah, I'm the one who picked it because I was trying to I think you're really good at picking retro movies that I just, or at least giving a bunch of ideas to me, because typically that's how we pick things, is you and I kind of throw ideas at the board and we kind of just pick one. And I typically pick ones that I haven't seen that you kind of throw out there. So I was trying to think of ones that I grew up with that maybe you hadn't seen, and it was kind of hard because a lot of the movies that I grew up and watched over and over again are movies you've seen a million times, like The Crow and From Dusk Till Dawn and all those kind of movies. And so I was looking through HBO and I saw this and I'm like, oh yeah, the fucking the Lawnmower Man. And we watched this a few times growing up. I mean, it wasn't like The Crow or anything, but it was one of those sunburst recycles every now and again. You get a sunburst and you grab the Lawnmower Man. But I don't remember much about it. I knew it was like going in, I remember it being something to do with VR, which I thought, and when I was kind of remembering it, I'm like, oh, this would be a fun thing because it's about VR, and VR is kind of really big right now, to see how the 90s kind of handled VR. But that was basically it. I knew that there was going to be a guy who went through a transformation with something to do with VR. That's all I remembered. So for the most part, it felt like watching it new again.
Yeah. This came out in March of 1992. I remember it was about 148 minutes, if I remember correctly, on HBO Max, right? Around there.
It was 148. Or sorry, sorry, an hour and 48, not 148, an hour and 48 minutes.
An hour 48.
It felt longer. It did feel like 140. Oh,
so we got the original cut then, because it says here 108 minutes is the original, 142 is the director's cut.
Damn, I'm almost kind of glad we didn't get the director's cut. I don't know if I could do another 40 minutes of this movie.
Oh man,
but I'll be curious to see what the differences are.
It feels long as it is.
Yeah.
So directed by, what the heck was this guy's name? There's some interesting things about the story. This directed by Brett Leonard. He does a couple other things. He did a Denzel Washington movie that I'm not familiar with, but I mean, to get Denzel in a movie, you got to do something, I guess. But all of his other stuff, I'm not really familiar with. And then it's The Lawnmower Man by Stephen King, based off of Stephen King's short story. But the short story Stephen King wrote has almost nothing to do with this movie. Here's the difference. Here's how different it is. This scene, right? When we first meet the Lawnmower Man in the movie, it's just this guy. He's kind of he's dumb. You know, in the 90s, he's a retard. That's how they play him.
Mentally handicapped, I guess.
Yeah. And they show him, he makes this cool lawnmower he fixed up. They call it Big Red. And it's a really stupid lawnmower. It's weird. It's got a freaking, it's like a tractor rototiller on the front. It's like, this kind of lawnmower is this? Shoots the grass in front of you. It's like, that's gotta be, it's gotta make it harder.
And everyone's so excited. Oh, you finished Big Red? Oh man.
Yeah. And it's all juiced up and it's got like a muffler on the top to go exhaust. And anyways, that first scene, he's just mowing the lawn. He's just pushing it and he's dumb. He's in his own little world. And maybe the guy sees him mowing and nods his head to him. And anyways, and in the short story, his mower, right from the beginning, mows by itself. So the guy that hired him sees it, and he sees the Job character, which isn't named Job. crawling behind it, eating grass, naked. And he's like I forget what they call it, but he's some kind of religion where he worships the god Pan of the Greek mythology or something. And the guy sees him and he ends up sacrificing the guy to the Pan god. And so that's how different it is.
Yeah, way different. Yeah.
So it's just crazy. And then Stephen King sued the movie and was like, "Fuck this! This ain't me," and got him to take his name off of it. Is held up in court, but then some other things happened where they're allowed to keep his name in the credits, but they couldn't use it on like advertising material, boxes and stuff. But they did anyway because they're New Line. They're like, "Yeah, fuck it. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Stephen King's The Lawnmower Man. Check it out."
I wonder if he tried that with The Shining, because he notoriously hates The Shining, but I never heard of him suing Warner Brothers for that movie. But maybe in the 90s he just got a little braver.
But they never ever call that Stephen King's The Shining. You know what I mean? They don't use his name a lot in that.
Yeah, just in the credits. Yeah.
Yeah. But where was I going with this? But yeah, I didn't know that till after I watched the movie, and this feels like a cheesy ass Stephen King movie.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh yeah, this is a Stephen King movie. Yeah, it sucks.
There are so many of these movies in the 90s. Like this is just added to the other, Stephen King adaptations from the 90s.
Yeah. Just any Stephen King, like Stephen King's journal. It's like they found his journal. They made
Tommy
a movie of that. Yeah. Stephen King's The Bubble Bath. Something lurks. But let's get into this. So yeah, this dummy is a sweet dummy too. He's kind of played like a sweet dummy that you're gonna like.
Yeah.
Job. He's a lawnmower man, believe it or not. Mows lawns. And there's this scientist, doctor. What the heck's his last name again? Dr.
Oh, yeah, they say it over and over again.
I know, 1,000 times.
Angelo? I think it's Dr. Angelo.
Dr. Angelo! Yeah. Hey, Dr. Angelo. We don't know what the hell he's a doctor of. But he works at that place. It's like cyberspace.
Oh, yeah, VSI, Virtual Space something. I don't know what the I stands for, but VSI.
Virtual Space Interactive or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like this government building where they do freaking VR testing. And oh my God, the beginning of this movie with the monkey. Oh my God, we got to start there. It's got the monkey set up in a freaking VR helmet. I like how VR isn't real then, but they keep making the VR helmet so damn huge. Like they got this thing that's coming. It's like, dude, it's not real. Why don't you make it kind of small and futuristic?
Yeah.
It kind of just sit over your face. It's not like it's real anyways. But anyways, they got the monkey. No, he needs more aggression. Pump up the aggression. This is my smartest goddamn monkey. You're going to ruin it. I don't give a fuck about your monkey. I care about the bottom line. We need that army contract today. Listen to me, pal. You pump any more aggression in this fucking monkey, he's going to snap, okay? And then,
oh, God.
And then wouldn't you know it, they pumped this monkey with more aggression. And then he's in the VR. You can see he's like, ah! It sounds like first person, super shitty fucking animations, dude, with his shitty monkey hands and a gun. It's the most rudimentary. I can't even describe what this.
It's like Star Fox. That's what it reminded me of. Like just these weird triangle shapes that you have to shoot. That he's shooting. It's just like he's playing Star Fox.
Oh, it's like Star Fox, but somehow worse. It somehow looks better on a Super Nintendo. He's in there and it's like the monkey and there's a ripper. Go get him, monkey. Do a barrel roll. And then the monkey,
I'm dying.
He sees like a different character, like a bad guy, and like a reticle, like like terminating you here, and it's like moving towards it. Oh my God.
Oh shit.
And then that kind of ends, and then like the monkey like, oh yeah, he's like, we gotta pump up the aggression. We need that monkey to know how to use the infrared VR killing helmet. It's like, and then the monkey somehow gets the VR killing helmet, which you can use in like real life. It has thermal imaging. And he puts it on. You can tell, and he's like seeing through the walls. Way better graphics than the actual VR, this VR imaging stuff. He's like seeing people through the walls, and he sees a guard, and it like focuses in on the gun. It's like, take this. And then it has like a key card on the table, like, acquire this. He walks over. He walks over, puts his little monkey hand, and all the while, super shitty first person monkey
Yeah, it's
view.
a little helmet.
So it's like a GoPro on his helmet, and it's like a really wobbly walk, like 3 feet off the ground. And he goes over. This little crinkled monkey hand grabs the gun, and it's like. Then it has a little word come up. It's like acquired. He grabs the key card. It's like acquired. And then he shoots the guy. And it goes back to thermal. It shows the guy, hey, monkey. Got a head blown off.
Oh, man.
He just goes through the fucking place. Blowing up
incredible
people.
Opening.
Oh, the fuck. That was good. I was like, oh my God, this is...
Yeah. The two things that stood out to me, like, in a technical sense, was that fucking helmet cam that looks so bad. And then how VSI was just covered in blue. That whole building is just fucking blue lighting. Hey, can we get a different color?
It's so VR. It's so VR. And then, so that Pierce Brosnan is the Dr. Angelo. So I feel bad for Pierce, man.
Yeah.
1992. I don't know where his career was at right here,
but he does what he can. It's all right. A couple years later, he's James Bond, so everything's all right. Something
happened. It's probably because they saw this. But him, dude, he tries really hard.
Yeah.
You could tell, like, he's acting the shit out of what he hits, and it ain't working. But you know, he's trying. It's like my research.
Yeah, the mind intrusion acting is fucking hilarious. Get out of there,
Job.
But dude, we gotta talk about his wife. Oh man, that's one of the best things in the whole fucking movie. You gonna take me to the city? I can't.
I have so much work to do. But you said, why didn't you remind me, bitch?
I did.
Oh, embraces her. I love you. Then they're about to fuck.
Oh man.
Then it turns to like divorce real quick.
Yeah.
I'm leaving you. What do you mean? We're about to hump.
I'm getting on a plane because you won't take me to the city. Oh man, that was good stuff.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. She looked familiar. I'd see her in some stuff. But I don't remember what. I gotta go like this. Oh fuck! We forgot about the opening. It's like in the future, virtual reality will become such a big conglomerate. It's like by the year 2001, 99% of the population will be involved. And I was like, dude, what? 2001? We didn't even have VR in 2001.
Yeah, I kind of hold on. I want to bring that actual text up because it has something to do with.
Bring it up.
It'll be like it says something to the effect of like psychological breakthroughs or whatever, psychic breakthroughs with VR.
I like now we barely have VR. Who the fuck do you know that has VR? I have one. Kind of sits in my closet. Don't do shit. Doesn't make me smarter. That's for damn sure. Ain't no revolution. It made Resident Evil 4 really cool. What else has it done for us lately?
Yeah.
But it's funny because 2001, the only VR you could find was a shitty like VR at an amusement park that was barely VR, but it was ginormous. You got to pay him $7 for 2 minutes. Here, step on this thing. Whoa.
I'm wondering, so this movie was 92. I wonder when, or if you probably remember, when the Nintendo VR came out. I don't think I can find this fucking intro thing.
Yeah, it wasn't even VR though. Really, it's just 3D because it wasn't.
Oh yeah, that's true.
You know, to be VR, it has to be immersive. You have to be able to. You're in the world. You know, you can move your head, and you know that's what makes it VR. You're talking about the Virtual Boy. That started out. It was going to be something like that, but it's just a shitty 3D gaming system. I wish I had one. I used to have one. It's a pretty cool thing to have.
Yeah.
It was fun. Now they're expensive as fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, the VR stuff. All the little things in this movie that you gotta talk about are so cheesy. Like the when he's doing the virtual journal entries. It's so bad. It looks like those old computer programs where it's like do you remember it's like the Atlas like collection where it's like a dictionary type of thing on CD-ROM available on 12 CD-ROMs. And it's just kind of like a clip art shit, and it'll have like George Washington, and it'll say something, and it'll have a bit of audio, and it was reminding me of that. It's so shitty. It would say like audio log March 5th, and it would say it. It has to, like, back then everything has to be said. Audio log recording initiated. It's like, today I had a breakthrough. I think Job is getting smarter. And he's just going into these intellectual fucking things. It was so cheesy and bad. And really, Pierce is trying hard.
Yeah.
The other guy who's trying hard is the Job character, but it's terrible. But you can tell he's putting his all into this. He's like, oh man, I'm gonna get an Oscar for this. Sweet dumb character. It's gonna be like,
yeah,
it'll be like, this is his Forrest Gump moment.
He gets a little better when he transforms, I guess. He becomes a little more believable, but yeah, his kind of dimwit, performance in the beginning is pretty awful.
Huh? Yeah. With the kid from Last Action Hero, like I told you, I'd never seen him in anything else, but he's kind of like the neighborhood friend of his. His dad's like, hey, I told you not to hang out with the retard. What are you doing? And yeah, especially there's one scene. It's like, hey, I got you the new comic book. He's like, whoa, space monkeys from Mars. And he's like, yeah, it's a special edition. Whoa, in 3D. Where's the glasses? Glasses? Well, that's okay. I have my own pair anyway. Thanks. Dude, what kind of a person, too? He folded that shit. He folded the comic like in fours.
Yeah.
Hardcore. Like, you don't fold a comic, especially into fours. Like, what do you do? You just bend the shit out of the spine? That's how I knew he was mentally handicapped.
Yep.
You never fold a comic, my friend. Ever.
You knew it was wrong when he pulled it out of his overalls. You're like, hey.
Hey, whoa, hey. The fuck is this? Go get me another one, idiot.
It's not a fucking newspaper.
Should have listened to my daddy about you.
Yeah, and then then we find out that he lives in like a shack behind a church.
Oh my god, what the fuck did that add to the story? What was that? He's like it's got this weird relationship where he works for the church.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. He's not getting paid. He's like a slave.
Or the church is helping him. One or the other.
Yeah.
It's freaking weird. And then the pastor comes in there and you think he's gonna fuck him. That's the vibe we're getting, right? I was like, oh God, no. The pastor's having sex with a sweet old handicapped dude who lives in the shack. No. Please. It's just turned into that one movie real quick. What was that movie with Kevin Bacon where he's molesting the kids?
Oh,
you remember that one?
Sleepers with like Brad Pitt and all those guys.
I was like, dude, this just turned to Sleepers real quick. I was like, oh no. But then it didn't. Thank God. I was like, oh, whew. he just beat him. That's any better. This is for the Lord. What?
Oh man,
oh!
So awful.
And then, it just shows him. Oh, pans up to Christ on the cross. I was like, oh my God, really? It was so bad.
Oh man.
And then we go through a lot of like.
We're only in the first 10 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
It's so good.
So eventually we got to get to the end of this movie. So Pierce Brosnan, he was always looking for a human subject for this crap. It's like a crap they inject into you, and then they mix it with VR virtual training, and somehow that fucking makes you smart. It's so stupid, dude. It's like VR is the worst thing to do complicated computer input with. It's like, dude, you want a keyboard. It's like he's in the virtual world. I remember when he's with him and he's like adding programs to his brain. He's got his hand there.
yeah.
It's like, woo. It's like, bro, this would be so much easier with a mouse outside of this. It's like this interface. Because then you could grab the program and put it in his brain with your hand. And it's like, how is it doing that? It's VR. It's a fucking screen on your face. It's like, what are you talking about? Put it in his brain. How are you injecting it into his brain?
Yeah.
And there's like a tube on the top of the VR helmet too, like implying there's things getting pumped into his brain. It's like, dude,
Yeah.
have you guys played VR? Do you know what this is?
Yeah. The way I kind of, the only logical explanation I could give myself was that it felt like the Matrix type of deal, like plugging in, type of deal, like they're feeding information into his brain, but it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. At least in the Matrix, you're actually plugging into, the nervous system and uploading. But yeah, this one just like, yeah, you're just wearing a VR headset. I don't know how you can get fucking psychokinesis through fucking VR.
and a fucking wetsuit with a cool LED lighting.
Yeah.
It's like, why it has to have that Tron suit or it's not VR, bro. And they gotta have the
oh yeah, like the fucking
If you can't spin in a gyro, is it really VR? You see me in my living room when I'm playing PSVR. This is amazing. I've been spinning around. Woo! Now this is pod racing.
Shit.
Yeah. So he kind of leaves the company. He's pissed that his chimp died. I told you not to make him that aggressive. What do you think was going to happen to Chimchi?
He was our smartest chimp.
We'll never have another one like him. And so he starts doing it at home with this kind of rudimentary VR with this guide, making him smarter. And it's like, remember his line, he says, he's already 300-fold smarter. He absorbed Latin in 2 hours. And I was like, okay. And
it took me months.
He seems just as dumb.
Yeah.
In the movie, right? I was like, he doesn't seem smarter yet. What, he is 300-fold? Seems pretty stupid. He's still folding comic books over here. And that's how you know he's smart. Like in the movie, he's pristine. This is a grade 10 flat comic book.
Hey.
Enjoy. Holographic. And I love it when
plastic sheets with the white cardboard.
When he starts getting smarter, I love it when he like sees an ad for like Wrangler jeans. He's like, "Ooh, that's nice." He's like, "I want new clothes. I want cowboy boots, and I want to make my home a ranch,
and I want to get paid."
And then he gets smarter, and this is hot girl he mows the lawn for, and then she stops at the gas station. This bully's always picking on him at the gas station. And she looks in her rearview mirror. She sees a nice ass.
Tight jeans ass.
Just a little pert 90s ass. It's pretty flat, but it's tight. And it's in some Wranglers. Blue. A deep blue, too. And she turns around, and it's him. And he's got his nice little cowboy button up. Very Justin-like. Mm-hmm. Tucked in some tight ass nut huggers, as he would call them. Nice boots. She turns around. Oh, hey, do I know you? Yeah, I mow your lawn. Oh, you can't be him. He's got his hair all done, like feathered out and shit, looking like Jeff Daniels in like Dumb and Dumber or some shit. And so anyway, she ends up doing him. That was a pretty funny scene. Have you ever kissed a girl? No, I can't say I have. Give me your tongue.
He sticks it out, and holds it there.
She's like sucking it. I was like, ooh. This is what I thought the pastor was gonna do.
Give me your tongue.
But there's not much to it. There's a good scene where he gets smart and the pastor comes in. Oh yeah, he has his shirt off. In his house, which is a shack, but it's his house, and he's in there. What was he doing? Oh yeah, he was like kind of posing in a mirror.
With the
looking at like a Wrangler ad, kind of trying to make himself. He's like, yeah, look at these jeans. which is whatever. And the pastor comes in. What are you doing, half naked? What perversions are you doing in here? You keep your shirt on when you're in your bedroom, you pervert. And then, anyways, you sick perversions. He grabs a fucking belt. Ah! And then the guy, not today, grabs his hand mid swing. And then kind of that intense, like, brings his fist down with the belt. The passer, oh! And kind of like the Terminator when he catches that knife T2.
Yeah.
Oh! Just breaking his hand. Anyway, it's not nice to hit people, Father. And the father runs away. And then, yeah, I remember this being like a fucking horror movie with a killer. This guy kills 2 people at best, right?
Yeah.
And that's like in the very end. He kills the boy's dad, right? Who is making fun of him and always beating on the boy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when he starts to have his telekinesis. So he like makes the boy and his mom fall asleep so they don't know about it. And then he kills he beats up the the bully from the gas station. He didn't kill him, right?
No, I don't know. He put him in some sort of mental prison. Is the way I took it.
Mental prison, no. It's the worst kind. But that guy was always smoking at the gas station. And he was like, that's dangerous. Hey, you shouldn't smoke here. And then he's smoking there. And then he telekinesis is the gas pump. And it's like a snake, Alibaba. Mm-hmm. He's like controlling. And I thought he was totally going to squirt him and give him a taste of his medicine. You know, that's dangerous. He's going to squirt him and light him on fire. But he doesn't. Yeah. He just wraps him up and kind of, oh, God darn it. Ow.
Not the mental prison.
No, please burn me alive, please. No. Fucking burn me. At least let me light another cigarette first. But then the pastor gets burned. And then he's like, oh, and he's got his VR suit when he comes to see the pastor. The pastor's on a lower level. He's on an upper level. It's kind of, and then when he uses his mind, it makes the suit glow. So it glows blue. He's looking down at the pastor. Who are you? The church is closed. I'm here for your confession, pastor. His father. So I'm not a Catholic. I don't understand the term. Father, son of pastor. And then he recognizes him. Job? What are you doing, Job? And then what does he do? He catches him on fire. And this was a travesty. This was the worst fucking part of this movie. I was irate. At this point, I clocked out of the movie. And it was kind of snacking and doing other things while this thing played out in front of my living room. It was just there. Because this fire, oh my God.
It was pretty bad.
Animated 90s virtual fire. It's like, bro, you could have just, superimpose actual fire over the film cell like they do in a lot of these shitty movies. And it would have looked 10 times better than this. Like this virtual fire. At first I was like, is that supposed to be fire? Like you have to question it. And you don't even know till later when the cop says, yeah, he was burned alive. Goddamn spontaneous combustion. Wouldn't you know it?
The darndest thing.
Yeah, that's the only reason I knew. I was like, I think that's fire. It kind of looks suspect. But yeah, what did you think of that? That was the worst thing I'd ever seen in my
awful.
life.
Like, why wouldn't you just grab a stunt man and fucking do the stunt?
Yeah, that.
You know what I mean?
Or like you said, you could just impose it over.
Yeah.
Or something. Or you could like paint it on the cell. You know, kind of like they do with ghosts back in the 90s and 80s and like poltergeists and stuff, where it's that white shit, but instead of doing white, you just do a flame looking thing.
Yeah.
It's like anything would have looked better than this. It's like you can't even tell it's fire. It just looks like some kind of shitty electricity effect or something. Oh,
yeah.
It's
bad. Pretty awful. And this is kind of where I was having a hard time understanding what the fuck was going on, because actually, let me back up. Like, I knew that this movie was over the years has become like a cult classic, and for the first half, I'm like, why? this movie is why, and then all of a sudden the second half kind of hits, and then he starts killing people, and I can see why it's kind of become a cult classic because it gets fucking ridiculous in the second half of the movie. And I think that's why the movie starts to have a little more fun too. But anyways, with that, with the fire thing, and then there's also like he's bringing these virtual reality things into the real world, and I'm like, my brain is trying to wrap my head around like, how is this even happening?
Yeah.
Like, there's a point where he projects a big giant version of his head in yellow, and he's like turning FBI agents into little dots, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, is he like, I don't know. It was hard for me to understand what the fuck was happening. Like the psycho or the telekinesis thing is fine. Like whatever, he has powers now. That's cool. He's like a supervillain origin story. Mm-hmm. Or like him operating a lawnmower to kill somebody was phenomenal. I loved it. But like,
when you're through the house, that was awesome.
That was awesome, yeah. But when you're turning people into little balls and you're like getting these virtual bees to attack people, I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
Oh my god! Like that, and you can't even tell what the bees are. Yeah. They have to use one bee and zoom in on it, and it's not even zooming in. They just make it really big so you can see what it is, and then they're like, well, this is what it is. These other ones you can't see. This is what they are, but we don't have the technology to make more than one.
Yeah.
Shitty fucking hornet, and it's so bad. Yes. And then and it feels like they're just trying to use all these effects that they thought were so cool and shoehorn them in, like the dots.
Yeah,
like it's taking film and making dots, and then the dot. It's like that dot art, like the 50s kind of or whatever it is, where it's like the color dots make up a bigger image. It's a mosaic, and so the human. So those would be like peach colored dots and then blue dots over my shirt, and then they separate. It's like, dude, this is the shittiest looking shit. Oh, we should say that the main bad guy was a fucking Hank from Breaking Bad. I didn't recognize him for a while. I was like, oh damn, that's a young ass Hank with doing a really shitty job. He's like, may be more persuasive. He's trying to be so evil, and it's like it's just bad, really bad.
Oh, yeah, man. I liked I think his name is Tim's. He's like a bald guy who, I don't know, he has some of the best just reaction shots in the whole movie. Like there's a moment where Sarah and I were fucking laughing hysterical because there's a moment where Alfonso or Angelo, god damn it, one of these fucking anything. Angelo is talking to Job, and Job is showing him how powerful he is, and he's doing it by lifting a chair with his mind. And then you cut to this bald guy who walks up, and like there's like an overlook glass area that overlooks the room, and he walks in. And he has this perfect like what the fuck look on his face that we just laughed hysterically. He has a couple of those moments where his facial expressions are killing it.
Yeah, that was one of the best parts of the movie when he lifts the chair. He's like, and then Dr. Angelo's like, well, this is interesting. I was like, okay. I thought VR might be the key to unlocking psychic abilities, but this is beyond my wildest dreams. What? Pump up the goddamn aggression. Oh yeah, and I love that he secretly pumps up the aggression on Job by putting the wrong vials in the fridge, and he finds out in like the corporate meeting. It's like, well, how's the pumped up aggression going? Huh? Well, we've only been doing the pumped up aggression for a couple of days. What? I was gonna tell you after the meeting. God damn it! You pumped up his aggression. You know what happened to Chim Chim?
He was the smartest chip we had.
You think we have the money for another first-person corridor shot? No. That shot took hours to perfect. So, and then it gets off the rails, man. It's like now he wants to become a cyber being. If I don't even remember the logic. It's like if I can get into the VR machine, then I can totally remove my consciousness and be a digital being. I'll be everywhere at once. I'll be in, and this is like before the internet. It's just kind of networking stuff. So he's like, I will be in everyone's telephone jacked in. And it's like this time. He's like, I'm in your telephone, and then every telephone in the world will ring, and that will be my birth. I was like, what the fuck is the point of this, dude? What? How is that better than what you got right now?
you got it pretty good.
Yeah, you got powers. You're fucking. You can do anything. Or do you want to be in the telephone? That seems worse to me. Fucking A.
Yeah, that's basically the climax is him putting himself in the network and trying to, I don't remember what he's trying to do, but he keeps getting denied. I think he's trying to like put himself denied. Oh god damn it.
He's in like the virtual program, right? And he needs to, it's really funny because it's like IO port access. So that's it's like a USB port. It's like it's like your IO, you know? And he's like, these honeycombs, he's surrounded by it. He's pulling them in. There's millions. And they'll come in this like cylindrical thing and it says IO port access. He touches it. Access denied. Access denied. Those are like every telephone jack in the world. And he's like, one of them has to be open. Oh, and there's a bomb in the building. And he only has so much time before the building blows up. So he has to get out of this digital world. And the little boy came to try and help Job. And now Job knows there's a bomb. Oh, real quick. You're going to talk about when he brought his girlfriend into the VR.
Oh, yeah. Amazing.
And we can be anything in here. And you choose to be shitty liquid metal Terminators floating around. That's what you choose to be.
And boning.
And then
presumably boning.
They go to kiss and it's like like sticking to each other. And then she grabs him and rides him and it's like their crotches are sticking like wow. And he's like, oh yeah. And she's like, no, it's too much. Stop. You're hurting me. He's like, oh my
he's like,
God,
I know what you want. And then like morphs into some weird fucking thing that like spits on her. I'm like, what is happening?
Some fucking pussy mouth thing with eyes and like something from Goosebumps or something. It just went from like Stephen King to R.L. Stein.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow. It's like, what the fuck? Anyways, he gets her out and says, oh, I'm so sorry. I couldn't help myself.
And then she's just traumatized for the rest of the movie. That's basically the last time you see her.
Yeah. And he's like, but Dr. Angelo said it couldn't hurt us. It's so bad. I had to bring that up. But yeah, at the end, the bomb's going to kill him and all this shit. And the boy comes and he's going to get killed too unless Dr. Angelo gets out of the program and saves him. He's like, go save him. There's not much time. So that's kind of a sweet moment where the only person Job ever really cared about was this boy.
Yeah.
That was his friend when nobody else would be.
And the bald guy from Double Impact, Jean-Claude's fucking caregiver guy. You remember Double Impact, one of the two Van Dams? He's the bald guy in this movie. He's like the landscape guy that he drives him to the VSI thing and he gets shot. And then Job was like, ah! And like flips the fuck out.
Oh yeah. See, I knew him from Tremors.
Ah.
That's the Tremors guy, the older one, the not Kevin Bacon one. I think.
I thought that was Fred Williamson.
Hey, fuck you.
Whatever.
let me live my fantasies here. Yeah, you're probably right. It's probably I am. But yeah, I knew him from somewhere. He's the most familiar face in here, other than Pierce Brosnan. So that's that's what we got. And they make it out. And we have a shitty explosion behind them as they're running out, and that's it. And then they all get home, or Pierce Brosnan's at home. And I think he's got the kid with him. They're like, oh, man, thank God we made it out. Poor Job. And then the telephone rings. That's odd. And then they hear the neighbor's telephone ring. Oh, that's even odder. And then we pan out to a cityscape. Bring, 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 bring. He made it. He made it, guys. He's in the telephone. What he always dreamed of.
Mm-hmm.
So that leads us into the sequel, I'd presume. I'll never know.
Yeah. The sequel, I mean, I've definitely watched it growing up, but it's even just watching the trailer, man, I kind of want to watch it because it looks that bad. But uh, yeah,
apparently that
Jeff Fahey doesn't return. Job is played by another character.
apparently that character, the kid, is the only one that returns.
Yeah.
That's not a good sign when you get the child actor as the only returning character. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah. So, woo. All right. I've been thinking hard about this. What the hell is the score of this thing? Because I have no nostalgia for it, other than remembering the like graphics. You know that virtual face in the Lawnmower Man. Everyone's seen that,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's very little of this too.
Mm-hmm. To like the very end. That I
Yeah.
think that's even the cover for the Sega Genesis video game. Is that fucking VR guy a
Yeah.
representation of Job?
Yeah. And the artwork they have on HBO is kind of a new modern artwork.
Yeah.
The original one is just like him pushing the lawnmower, kind of a wide shot
Mm-hmm.
and grass.
I
And
think the
it just says,
gyros in the middle of the sky are like, I think that's how.
yeah. And I think it just has like it's a black silhouetted image of like a human in a gyro. And I think it says the Lawnmower Man.
Yeah.
I think that's a better image for this. It conveys more what the movie is because you see this Tron like colorful image. You're like, oh, this is dope. Hell yeah. It's not what it is.
Well, they turned it into like a B movie art cover. That's kind of what it felt like. Like a B movie cult classic artwork.
So, man, this movie's bad. You know, the whole time I was like, this is a good story, but a shit movie.
Yeah.
I was like, this could be, it's an interesting story and you want to like keep going with it, but it's just the movie's so bad.
Yeah.
You know, it was like the concept and stuff was pretty interesting.
Yeah, the concept and the story is great because it's like,
yeah,
it's a supervillain origin story, but it's also very tragic. You know, and they could have made this movie way more tragic than like they had it. It's like they have this simpleton gentleman who becomes, you know, smarter, and he kind of is kind of like this awful tale of getting too much power and dying and yada yada yada. So, but they didn't really explore that. But yeah, I do think that the second half of I'll let you were on a thought. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I mean I was just cool concept, interesting, but yeah, the movie just fails in every way. The only redeeming part of this movie, other than that, I see is Pierce trying to act his ass off, but you know he's only got what he's got to work with. Mm-hmm. So, the guy who played Job was pretty bad. Gets a little better once he becomes smart, but even then, he kind of plays it kind of weird.
Yeah, Pierce has a kind of a very, very quick but badass fight scene, which I've never seen before, which is that he's in a hotel room and he's smoking a cigarette, and he ends up slugging he ends up slugging some guy and then punching him in the stomach, all with the cigarette in his mouth, which I've never seen a fight scene with someone with a cigarette in their mouth while they're fighting. I thought that was kind of fun.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah, I think I give this movie shit, man. It's got to be low.
Yeah.
4.2. It's really bad. I wouldn't watch it again. Graphics were terrible. Acting was terrible. Graphics were terrible at places where they didn't even need to be, just so they could show you their terrible CG, which they were obviously proud of. The virtual worlds were just so fucking stupid. Mm-hmm. It's like you get in there and it's like that Windows Media Player screensaver for when you're listening to your CDs. It's like, it's like that's the VR. It's like, whoa, dude, this is a fucking world, isn't it? It's like it's just a swirly thing. What are you talking about? This isn't a world. The world outside of here is way cooler. What are you talking about? But 4.2. Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, so I'm a little higher, funny enough, because I think that, you know, there's this opinion that I've seen floating around last couple months that I tend to agree with, which is that a bad movie is better than a mediocre one. And the idea is that like when you watch a bad movie, you have some sort of emotional reaction, whether it's like, oh my God, I fucking hate this movie, or like this movie's so bad, I'm gonna laugh at it. That's kind of where you get into like the Troll 2s or like Tommy Wiseau's The Room. Like those are like so bad that, you know, people are enjoying themselves. But then when you come to a mediocre movie, those movies are just so fucking bland and boring that you don't feel anything, and they're just whatever movies. And I kind of agree with that. And I think that this movie isn't quite like so bad it's good, because I think the second half is so bad it's good, but I think the first half is such a fucking slog that it's just like it's really really bad.
Yeah.
But I do like the second half. The moment Job is kind of transformed and starts becoming a villain, and there's all these cool like silhouette moments where people turn around. He's like in the shadow, standing there and glowing blue, stuff like that. It's fucking hilarious, and I mean, him attacking somebody with a lawnmower. You know, I don't know. There's just so many funny moments. But I would say that the second half is enjoyable because it's so bad, like B movie bad. Um, and for that, I think I'm going to give it like a 5.5. I think it's still a really bad movie,
Wow.
but 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 I think the second half is so stupid and ridiculous that I had a good time watching it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, I get what you're saying. It's not too, it's not bad enough to be good. But even with those movies that are like that, I think I'd still score them low, because if you go into a movie as a satirical watch, you're watching this like, yeah, let's watch this, you
Hmm.
know, then yeah, you might enjoy it. It might be a different experience. But if
Yeah,
you go into this movie like we did, as usual, we're just movie reviewers. Okay, so we're gonna judge it as a movie, not as a shitty movie because we didn't know it was a shitty movie. Um, then yeah, that's the score I'm giving it, I guess. And I get where you're coming from.
yeah,
You're being a lighter on it, looking at it as the totality of the time frame. Yeah, for sure.
yeah. I
So
think
five point
yeah,
five.
like watching it for the first hour, I was right there with you. I'm like, this is like a 3. This movie is atrocious, like insultingly. But then, like, eventually, I started having fun with it. And, like, this is fucking stupid, but I'm smiling and laughing at it, and
uh,
I started to have a little bit more fun with it. Even the fucking priest thing, which was so stupid, but I was like laughing,
uh,
like this is so dumb.
I I didn't have much fun with this. I was like, dude, when is this shit over? I was just at the end. I was like, oh my god, we're still going.
Yeah,
Yeah, we get it. Yeah, the phones. Yeah, the phone lines are dead. Anyways, yeah, that's it. 5.5, 4.2. Probably save your time. Don't check this out, everybody. Unless you want to laugh, you want to do a Razzie with the buds, sit
yeah,
around and watch this, weirdo poop fest. Go ahead. Um, yeah. So, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. Well, we promise we'll get something better next week. Fuck, we got to get
yeah.
something good now. There's got to be something coming out next week, right?
I don't
Next
think
weekend,
so.
we'll figure it out.
It's still
Well,
pretty pretty barren out there for releases.
you
Um,
better fucking catch up on your Peacemaker or something. We got to do something more modern for these folks. It's
yeah,
really good, dude. I'm enjoying this.
or I think Raised by Wolves is out soon, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah, that's February 2nd,
Oh,
I
it is.
think.
Okay, yeah, then we're fine.
I
I think
think.
next Friday is.
But they don't release them all at once, do they?
Oh yeah, I guess it would just be the first episode. Yeah, I feel like that's a
Kind of.
show you got to review at the end because there's a lot.
Yeah.
Oh,
Uh,
Moonfall comes out. I don't know if you're gonna watch
oh
that or not.
god.
It
Oh
looks pretty
god.
awful.
That that might be a fun review though. Yeah, that trailer is. Oh my god. Looks like
And I think
shit.
Jackass, according to
I mean,
IMDb, Jackass is out next week.
that's a weird one to review though, right? How do you review Jackass?
Yeah. I don't know. We'll think of something. We can either do a
Yeah.
retro or I can pick a TV
It's
show to
funny or
watch.
it's not. Dude, I suggest you check out some Peacemaker.
Yeah.
It's really good. I'm enjoying it a lot. They had some other one. I mean, we already did Mandalorian, but that's coming along better now. It's still not up to par with Mando, the Boba Fett stuff, but
Mm.
whatever. I think I suggest. I think Peacemaker. Keep that in your mind.
Yeah,
That's a lot
okay.
of episodes, though, but we can think about it.
Oh yeah,
But
I
I'm
mean,
just,
if we decide early enough, I can watch it through the week.
yeah, I'm just enjoying it. That's really surprised me. That's a really visceral, pretty cool show.
Oh
Check
man,
it out if you
I
haven't.
wish you had Apple, man, because there's a new show on Apple called After Party, and it's the guys who did I think they wrote the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and then they also did the 21 Jump Street movies. I don't know if you'd seen those, but it's
Yeah.
basically a movie where a bunch of this like a high school reunion, and they all meet at like this after party, and it's fucking Dave Franco, and he's like a pop star, and anyways, it's right up your alley. Like the comedy, it's so fucking funny. Like they were saying, like, oh, Dave Franco, I think his name is Xavier in the show. He's like, he got popular after doing the Huey Lewis and whatever the biopic, and it cuts to like fucking Channing Tatum as one of the Huey Lewis, and then they're like in the studio and they're like ripping on each other, and I don't know, it's so fucking funny, dude. It's a really funny show.
Is it like modern James Franco? So he's working again?
Or no, his brother Dave Franco. He's
Dave Franco.
Yeah.
Okay. It's another good one I wanted to check out at HBO. It's that Danny McBride show where there's like like the church related one.
Mm-hmm.
Can't remember what it's called, but that one looked pretty funny. They're all like pastors and stuff, and that one looked pretty good.
Yeah, that one looked pretty funny. I haven't seen it yet, but yeah, I keep hearing good things about it.
Yeah, I mean, I loved Eastbound and Down. That was pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, yeah, thanks for joining us. Please check us out on Spotify, Apple Music, and always right here on the YouTube, where you can see our beautiful faces every Sunday morning. Hey, coming to you live. We don't edit this motherfucker. Oh, we edit it, but it's pretty much unfiltered content. We just throw in a couple pictures and crap like
Actually,
that.
technically it is unedited. I mean, the only thing I do is add video content onto our conversation remains intact. I don't edit anything out, or even when you're not being live. PC, I don't edit you.
It's live.
I love you and I don't care.
No, we got to do it. That's our show. Yep. Take it or leave it. We hope you take it, please. Oh God, please. Yeah, so join us. We'll see you Sundays, and we enjoy having you. Thank you very much. Please like and subscribe. Check us out. And until the next Vs, we're saying peace.
Peace.